And we're live.
Yeah, and we're live. Good evening, everyone. How is everybody doing tonight? Hopefully, you guys join us. If you happen to jump on, please say hello. Let us know that you're on here with us. And yeah, I'm excited because Monday nights we've been coming on, and Bob's been sharing a little bit about his writing journey with God and his memoir that he's been writing. So tonight, he's just going to be sharing a little bit more. This also gives you guys an opportunity to get to know him and who he is and what he's all about, what his story is all about, because that's what his book is. And then if you guys have any questions, you can ask him any questions at all. So I would love it if you guys can, just put in the comments, any questions that you have for him, any questions that you have for me, any questions that you have about his story, about his journey, and he'd be happy to let you know. And if I don't get back to you, like while we're live, I'll definitely go back and answer any questions that you guys have for us. All right. So don't, even if you don't catch us live and you catch us on the replay, then you can still ask the questions and we'll make sure that we get them back to you. All right. So yeah.
All right.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to talk about my book a little bit. I don't know if I told everybody. It's going to be called Father Knows Best.
No.
Yes.
I don't even know if you should have even mentioned that yet.
But that was funny. It was a funny God thing because I was coming up with all these different titles.
So yeah, did you guys hear that? The name of the book. He's got the name of the book, Father Knows Best, which I love.
Which is funny because God lets things percolate with me for a long time. And this was a poem that I wrote like 20 years ago.
Oh, you should have read the poem.
And it just...
What the heck? See,
but you know what? They have to buy the book to have the poem.
No, well,
okay. There'll be a QR code for it.
I don't know about that. Let's not go. Let's
not
even
go
talk
there.
About that.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, let's not even talk about that. All right. So what are you sharing today?
Well, part of the journey, like, again, years ago, when I had made such a mess of my life, I got to the point, and I just looked back and said, well, how did it come to this? And I started looking back and like writing down everything as far back as I could remember to my childhood, like chronologically going through it. And a lot of the points that came up, you start wondering, how did it come to this? Was it nature? Was I born this way? Was it nurture? Did my environment mold me this way?
Mm-hmm.
And you can even go back to the Garden of Eden, our sin nature.
Mm-hmm.
I was just reading the other day, and it was very interesting. In the Garden of Eden, Adam was told, don't eat of the fruit of the tree of knowledge, good and evil. So his wife offers him the apple, and he knows he's not supposed to. That's what always happens. It's like she offered him tiramisu, honey.
Oh,
and he said, looks good to me. Give me that thing.
I know, right? You guys, we've been on this kick with tiramisu lately, and he's right. If I want some tiramisu, honey, can you go get me some tiramisu? He goes running. I mean, come on. In the beginning, God. And look at what happened. Even his story is from the very beginning of when everything was created. It started just same way, that, Eve was giving Adam something and Adam said, yep, let's do it.
And did you know that baseball is in the Bible?
How?
Right there in the big inning.
Oh my goodness.
It's not really. So anyway, when you think about it, they sin. And sin, like we talked about last week, was just to miss the mark.
Mm-hmm.
And then they hide. So what changes in this place? Certainly God didn't change. God is not changeable. He's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So here they are in Eden, in perfection, walking with God every day. And now they're hiding from him. So I don't know. Just let your mind run with this. It's like, not only did Satan help them to stumble and fall, but he changed their minds. They didn't even see God the same anymore. They were hiding from him. They were terrified.
Right.
And he asked them, like, why are you hiding? Well, we were naked. And like, well, who told you were naked? In an instant, sin changes how we see God. It changes how we see ourselves.
Right.
I mean, how many people, the smallest things can affect us when we're young, just, I don't know, we're so pliable. Like a couple of years ago, we were talking how something my father said to me when I was a kid, and I knew he didn't mean anything by it, but it just stuck in my head. The funniest thing was, when I look back at it, it's funny, but it dug in so deep. It was one of those roots that got in so deep I didn't know it was there. Okay, we're watching TV. I think it was even black and white. It was a long time ago.
Oh my gosh, he just aged himself. It was black and white.
But there was sound.
I don't think I've ever, well, I don't know. No, we always had color.
Oh.
So I'm kind of,
La-dee-da.
I mean, really black and white. I don't remember if I don't think I've ever grew up with a black and white TV.
No.
I don't think so.
Wow. So anyway, this is how far back it goes. That it was like a Sunday night, you would take your bath and you would watch Lawrence Welk and the Wonderful World of Disney. I don't know what was going on, but in my mind, all of a sudden, I wanted to make my father laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought of one of my cousins, like everything he said that the adults found funny, but what I was doing was not funny. In my mind, I was like just trying to get a rise out of dad and make him laugh, but I was just it was really dumb. And he got pissed and he said, "Shut up, boy, you sound so stupid." And that got into my head. I was like,
Those words.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shut up. So
Sounds
even
familiar.
as I grew up, I didn't want to speak. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be in front of people. And it just, those couple words affects your life. They get in there. And of course, if we have an enemy that's going to twist that in our minds and change our perception of how we're seeing ourselves. Like I had nothing, I'm not important. I have nothing to say.
Yeah. So that was a nurturing.
And then
right?
Yeah.
That was a nurturing incident, like he was just talking about, from the beginning with Adam and Eve. And I know because we've all been through it. I know I have too. I've mentioned it, with you guys. I've shared, a little bit of my story. And I know that something that my father said to me also affected me throughout my entire life. It does. It impacts. It impacts who we are. And it impacts our identity.
And I'm reading a book right now that my writing coach recommended. It's called Across All Worlds. If you can get your hands on it, read it.
Across All Worlds.
Just the beginning.
Do you remember who the author is?
Kruger, the last name.
Okay, I don't remember.
But anyway, he talks about God created us in his image. Then we start letting sin in. We return the favor. We create God in our image. We start putting human characteristics on, like he thinks we do, like he's going to be ashamed of us. He's not going to love me anymore. I have to earn my worth. And that's just not God.
Wow. And you know what? The reason why, as you're saying that, I think the reason why we do that a lot too is because Jesus was here on earth. And he did live a life so that he could experience the same things that we experience, the same things that we experience here in our heart, the things that we experience physically, emotionally, in life. And it's so easy for us to do that because of that.
And he was showing us the relationship with the Father, what they had. It was so close.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he wants. He's trying to show us it's a relationship. We're not going to give up on you. It's unconditional love. You just have to accept it. And that should change your view of self. Think about it. The creator of the universe loves you. Thinks you're that special that he would come to earth, take on a flesh suit, and get the heck beat out of him and crucified so you could be with him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the book in a nutshell, that God is so big, so good, that no matter where you are, there's nothing you can do to separate yourself from his love.
You're talking about your book?
My book now.
Okay. Well, it's not a book, your book in a nutshell, because we have a lot more to talk about.
It's the synopsis. Yeah. The whole story is based around God is going to come for you with his, is it undeniable? What's the word? It's just when he wants your attention, he's going to get your attention.
So you guys, if you're on here with us, please say hello. And does anybody have any questions? Again, if you have any questions for Bobby or even some questions for me, anything about his story, anything about him specifically, because this time with you guys is for you guys to get to know him a little bit better. You guys know me already.
And I have a question for you guys, which occurred to me. Can trauma be passed through our DNA?
Can trauma
like
be
again, I've
passed
talked about my
through
dad.
our DNA? Can trauma be passed through our DNA?
Because our family was
I don't think
dysfunctional,
so.
but
I don't think it can be passed. I don't think trauma can be passed through our DNA, but I mean, there could be a generational curse, yes, but not necessarily related to trauma.
I don't know. I've heard people say, I've heard both sides of it, but like Dad being in the war, seeing the stuff he saw horrors, like stuff that nobody should see. And it's weird because like I said, our home was dysfunctional, but there's people who are raised in much worse circumstances. Yet all myself and my siblings ended up being like train wrecks. You've seen it.
We all have someone in our family like that.
If not for God.
Yeah. So, alrighty. Anything else?
No, I think that's enough for tonight.
All right, cool.
Enough to ponder.
So that's a good question, though. If trauma passes through our DNA, I know that we do talk about generational curses, and we know that a lot of things related to our personality traits, can become generational and can pass through our DNA that way. But I don't know about trauma, though. So that's a good question. But yeah, if you guys have any insight on that, definitely share it with us.
Yeah, we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, we would love to hear from you guys. So thanks so much for joining Bobby and I. And we will definitely see you again on Monday, this coming Monday again, Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys are around, join us. Again, it's a great time for, I don't know where that came from. No, we're supposed to do thumbs up. Yeah, that's it.
What in the world?
It is something that StreamYard has now. It's so crazy. So I don't know. I wonder if one thumb. There we go. One thumb. What was I going to say? I forgot. Oh, so tomorrow I will be on live with you guys, at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, and hope to see you guys there. Love you guys so much. You guys have a fabulous evening, and let's do our fireworks again.
And thank you for everybody that came out to the Apostles store on Saturday. We had such a good time.
We
in
did.
The freezing cold. The place
It was
packed.
great. It was great. Yes, it was fun. Bye, guys. We love you. Bye.